Today, Dark Pure Vanilla Cookie. This one is a strip, slow, and absorb the attack gauge with skill 3. Some people claiming this is super OP. We're going to find out in a second. He's got the HP leader skill, 44%. He's got this Oblivion for 2 turns, and then the first skill is a heal. So let's find out if he truly is as OP as people claim. G1 versus G1, fairly meta picks, except for the Dark Pure Vanilla Cookie. And then also the light. Well, the light monkey is a meta pick at this rank. Everyone's got like half the LDs in the game at this rank. So let's see. My famous catchphrase. Let's see what winds up happening. All right, gets the slows, and then the CCs. By the way, guys, if you are not accustomed to playing a whole crap ton of RTA, the Water Sky Surfer, the reason he's getting picked so much this season is because Mosh is getting picked so much this season. I don't think he was in the top 10, but he is like that one. Also, Water Monkey is another nice counter to Masha, but usually Masha in her artifacts has decreased damage from water units, just in general. And then everything has decreased damage from Dominic, decreased damage from wind. Well, between the Dominic and the Oliver after he starts going. So we got to see a little bit. We also did get to see the Oblivion there too, which was. You know, we didn't really talk about it, but it did come into play. Next match, same player as the last match. Just a bunch of LDs versus, it's gonna be a nasty comp on the right-hand side. Although there's no sustain on the right-hand side, and there's a bunch of LDs on the left-hand side. Bans out the Light Monkey, bans out the Dark M Bison, or the Dark Slayer. Decent amount of damage mitigation from that Onmyuji, and the Oblivion there, which is very big on Vertiheal for this comp. So there's 4 things to Oblivion on the opponent's side. So that Oblivion is going to come in very handy if they can actually land it, as much as I'm sure they would like to. They don't get the CCs! Well, she could be on Violent. Maybe she's on Violent. You can do Violent, you can do Despair on the Rika, so. And Rika herself got CCs. She would have CC'd possibly things with skill 2. Because skill 2 at least has an innate stun, so even if it's on Violent, it could still do the stuns there. But gets stunned herself, 25% chance. There we go. Actually a pretty significant amount of CC on that second skill. So they went with the Oblivion. You know what? That Dark Onimusha, I was just going to say the Dark Onimusha it can't revive anyway, so it really didn't. I was thinking like, man, they got to get that Oblivion on the Nana, but they really didn't. So this is already game. This is already game. Yeah, we got to see. You know what? I like that we didn't just get to see. And counter! I like that we didn't just get to see the Dark Pure Vanilla here. I like that we got to see the Dark Onmyuji as well, because I think that's a nice unit that we should see more of. Double Wind into and a Chiwu picked into the. That means they're banning the more. So you already know what the ban is right there. Alright, so they have Swift units on both sides and speed leads on both sides. Chiwu takes turn 1, 33% speed lead. Resists with the Dark Pure Vanilla, so there is a comeback. However, they did not get the Oliver, and now Oliver goes nanners. This is just an Oliver Spotlight, isn't it? And Shungpo, and now it's a Cleave. Well, you're not going to see an Oliver Spotlight because everything else just dies before anything else. But this was just an RNG either way. Like, who outspeeds? Do they actually strip things, or do things get resisted? If the Oliver did not resist, though, however, they would have been able to Bellatus skill 3 and defense break and provoke things, and then they would have definitely had a comeback right there. So I don't think this is necessarily the Pure Vanilla doing anything bad. I think this is just RNG is RNG. Different player on the right hand side than we've seen before. So left hand side is going for a Cleave team. Right hand side is going for a trying to withstand the Cleave and come back. Playing turn 2. Bans out the Fire Slayer. So 33 speed lead plus Draco. There's no way they were going to outspeed that with a 24 speed lead and a 96 base speed Dark Pure Vanilla. So Dark Pure Vanilla gets reset. Let's see if Praha can come in and oh my god. Well, just Praha doing Praha things. I guess she doesn't work this season for a lot of players, myself included. Typical first 3, and you see the Water Monkey there and the Bulwark. So Bulwark is kind of a counter to Masha. It really doesn't stack Bulwark that fast, though. You kind of need. Well, Bulwark is kind of more of a counter to Shizuka, though. I should mention that. So, Monkey's a better counter to Masha. Strips everything. Not bad. And has the Oblivion. That's actually, the Dark Pure Vanilla is actually a really solid unit here. Really solid unit. Still going to come back from the dead, though. So, Oblivion on that. That is solid. How many more times do I got to say solid? Probably 300 or 400 more times. You know me, I just say the same 3 words over and over and over again. That's my commentary. That's my commentary style. Okay. Oh, I was expecting the monkey to go down there. Monkey goes down here. That's game. That's game there. I think that was a great place for the Dark Pure Vanilla, actually. I can never... Oh, hold on. Gani Oki. And 2... So, only 1 speed lead, though. Only 1 speed... Gani gets banned. However, there's still Elenoa. Okay. Doesn't strip... Oh, doesn't strip the immunity unit. That's not great for them. Resists, too. Well... Can they strip this time? No, no, they can't. Okay, so this and Oblivion, but I don't know. I think it's just the not stripping the Water Pure Vanilla is what did it. And then the Dark Pure Vanilla, he's gonna die in a second. So, yep. Well, I guess we'll see. Lots of strips. All right. It was enjoyable to see the Oki, the Gani Oki, because I haven't seen that in a while. So there we go. GG, we got to see the Dark Pure Vanilla and the Water Pure Vanilla, but it's the team I wasn't expecting to see today. This guy on the right-hand side is the one that we saw at the very beginning of the video. Changes up his draft strategy a little bit. Still got the same. Is he the one that was going up against the Leo Vertiheel, whatever? I think he was. So he changed up his draft strategy. This is something that I want to actually mention because a lot of people have the not a lot of endgame players. They don't have this misconception, but a lot of casual players that are just starting to get into RTA have this misconception that you can just pick the same 5 units in every match of RTA, and somehow that's going to like it doesn't quite work like that. It's not like regular arena where it's like this is your team, unless you have a really OP draft of 5 units and you don't care about having the highest win rate possible. But generally, you need to counterpick what your opponent is picking. You can't just pick the same 5 units all the time. And this is a misconception. I know some people are like, no, there's no misconception. Yes, there is some endgame players are probably like, there's no misconception. But there is a misconception with casual players that are just getting into RTA that they can just pick the same 5 units. And it's really not about picking the same 5 units. It's about countering your opponent's draft. So I do want to mention that, and this is a good example of that because the player on the right-hand side that we've seen in the very beginning, he's picking different things for all of his matches. He's not just picking the same 5 units, and that's what you have to do if you want to keep progressing further and further up the ranks of the RTA system. I don't know if that's the RTA system. Yeah, the RTA system, because let's use words that don't make sense. Wouldn't be the first time I've done that. Wouldn't be the first time. So we're actually, I was so busy talking that we aren't really seeing too much of the Pure Vanilla because he's already dead. So aside from when he comes back from the dead with Shizuka like he did like a couple seconds ago. Different players this time. Left-hand side going for a bruiser. Right-hand side going for not the team that I thought they were. I thought they were just going to continue to go for a fast aggressive, but you know, it is at this rank, so there's a lot of hybrid teams that are just playing based on efficiency here. So actually, this is pretty significant, and I did not mention that before, but not attacking is actually really, really good, especially in this case, but in many cases. Like, for example, since that third skill doesn't attack, it can't possibly activate the Vertiheel passive, or Vertiheel passive on Revenge. It can't possibly activate the Water Striker or the Ragdoll or many different things. So that was actually pretty significant that it did not attack and do damage there like, for example, Chiwu would have or the Water Striker would have. So that is definitely something to note, that in some instances, even though it doesn't have that speed lead or the better base speed like Chiwu or the Water Striker, it still does have the benefit of not actually attacking things. Man, that would have saved me so many times where the opponent had like a Vertiheal and yeah, like a Vertiheal Ragdoll. That definitely, because you know me, I'm a light monkey abuser. And also the darkness would be a great combination with the Dark Ninja too. The fact that it doesn't attack is worth mentioning. That is definitely one of its selling points. It might seem to like casual players, it might seem weird, but not attacking, not actually doing damage with that skill is definitely a selling point. Pretty standard opener for Season 22, although the Shizuka is still weak to the Oliver. The Masha does counter the Oliver, though. And then brings in 2 LD, so bans the Oliver, bans the Shizuka. The irony. 2 LD5s. Josephine, I think, is a fantastic unit in this situation for a few different reasons. Number one, as you saw, they have 2 LDs that do AoE control. So Josephine, as a counter to control themes, very solid. Also, the Josephine skill 2 against the Masha, very strong. He's going to she is going to strip and provoke the Masha. Anytime Masha gets her immunity, she's going to be able to strip and provoke. So that's actually pretty strong against that. More CCs and more Josephine turns. I think Josephine's such a solid unit. There are people that use Josephine plenty, but there's also a lot of people that that have Josephine that really don't give her enough credit, that really don't use her as much as they could be. She's not a unit that does a whole lot of damage, but in very many situations, she is a very effective unit. So, if you have Josephine, give her the credit that she deserves. They have 3 stacks on the Nana. Okay, so this one feels kind of over already. Maybe it's just, I always call it so early, but 3 stacks on Nana. You're gonna have to kill these things so many. Well, hold on. They're definitely killing them pretty fast. But as soon as they get the Tianlang or the Vanessa, yeah, Nana stacked again. Back up to full stacks. Josephine was a solid pick there. I think that the Josephine was a fantastic pick. I know it's a pure vanilla. We're looking at the pure vanilla, but Josephine was a great pick there. Masha first pick into a double, double Oliver, double Sky Surfer. I like the Vertiheal pick into the Leo. Then he brings in the Monkey. So Monkey is a counter to all of the turns that Oliver's going to get. So that means that Oliver's not going to get banned out if you see the Monkey in there. And then the double LDs. So the Oliver, though, into the Masha is potentially dangerous because Masha's already, like, if your opponent's already picking a counter to you, then kind of dangerous here. And then you also do have the Nana plus Masha combination of just Masha coming back from the dead as much as she feels like. Well, you do have the Dark Pure Vanilla with the Oblivion. So let's see if they actually land the Oblivion. They get the Slows, okay. And then land the, oh, they don't, okay. I thought that they were going to land the Oblivion on the Nana and then kill the Masha. That's kind of what I expected. So there, that's it. Okay, so they did, but they didn't do it the turn that I expected them to. Okay. The real question is RNG, really. Okay, Mana Storm. They get the stuns, no stuns. Nana's dead. Welcome back, Nana. Do they get? I mean, we're supposed to be looking at the Dark Pure Vanilla. The Dark Pure Vanilla is doing what it's supposed to be doing. I think it's doing pretty well. Oh, Monkey doing monkey things, and now Nana's stacked. So they need to make sure they get the Oblivion on that again, though. And the thing is that they don't need to apply those debuffs with the Riley. Well, they decide that they want to. Oh no, it was the cleanse. They were trying to cleanse the bomb. But yep, that's GG. There's only so much that she can do. This is not gonna solo teams. A valiant effort. I think that even though the Dark Pure Vanilla technically lost at the end, I still think that we got to see what she does, or he does, or whatever, what the Dark Pure Vanilla does, and I still think that it performed well. Opponent just picked pretty decent counters to it. Some things activated, some things didn't activate, but I think overall Dark Pure Vanilla is a pretty solid unit. It's not necessarily a unit that you can effectively contest turn 1 with, but it's just a solid overall valuable pick. It's got strips. It doesn't actually do damage, so it doesn't activate revenges from like Vertiheal and things like that, which is it's worth mentioning. It's pretty solid. Also, it's got the Oblivion, which is another thing that's pretty solid and worth mentioning. So anyway, that's it for this one. I don't think it's crazy ridiculous OP. I just think it's a strong unit. So anyway, that's it for this one. See you as always in the next one.